it is pretty darn cold out here today. What was the temperature?
19.
Yeah, it's 19 degrees right now.
We haven't gotten above freezing in like 3 solid weeks.
Yeah, everything's frozen. But it sure is pretty. Anyways, we came out today. We wanted to try out our new snowshoes. We've been planning to go up to the mountains, but the snow's here, so we're just walking around the backyard. There's about 2 feet of snow. This week we've finally locked in our RV financing.
Woo-hoo!
Yeah, sweet. We hope to buy the RV before selling our house.
Yep.
That way we can have a nice, easy transition and for things to kind of just go smoothly.
Yeah.
And also the other advantage of getting the RV now is that before we have to live in it full time, we currently have a workshop, a house, a place to store the RV, and we can do any modifications and any repairs. Whatever the RV needs, we can do it here for free and ourselves.
Easily.
Yeah. Well, hey, if you can't hear, it's freaking crazy windy cold out here.
We can see them waving. Those are 60-foot.
Wow, it's cold out here. Well, we're gonna finish snowshoeing around the yard, have some fun for a minute. Then we're gonna go back inside and we're gonna tell you all the things we learned about how to finance an RV, what we found out, and the option we chose for this whole RV adventure.
Woo!
Woohoo!
Look at that doggy face. So snow.
Okay, so we were back inside. It was freezing cold out there. Now we can actually be out of the wind and have a little discussion and tell you what we learned about financing an RV. There's probably other options that might be suitable for other people, but for us, we locked it down to 2 primary options that seem to be the best fit for us financing an RV. The first option was to get a second mortgage. So for example, if you own a house worth $200,000 and you only owe $100,000, you therefore have $100,000 of equity, and you can go to a bank or institution and say, hey, I'd like to borrow against the equity. We're going to talk about a second mortgage, but just keep in mind that a second mortgage and a HELOC, they're different, but they're similar enough we're going to call them one thing. Okay, so let's discuss some of the advantages of a second mortgage. The first advantage is that they seem to be the best interest rate you can get for a loan on an RV.
The lowest.
Yeah. And when you're borrowing a lot of money, hey, that 1-2% percentage difference makes a big difference, especially if you're going to keep the loan for several years. So we found the lowest rates. Also, by doing that, the bank will give you cash, or you can, take that money as cash. Then when you go to buy an RV, say from a private seller, you have cash in your hand, and that's a lot stronger bargaining tool. When people see cash and they know they're going to get paid today, they'd probably be more willing to, sacrifice a few $1,000s here or there, or make concessions in order to make the sale happen.
Okay, so the cons for us looking at getting a second mortgage, the timeline from when you first call and ask about getting a loan to getting pre-approved, it's like a 5-week minimum, which was much longer than we wanted to spend going through a loan approval process. For some people that might be fine, but for us that was a no-go. And then another con, getting a second home mortgage, you have to get your home reappraised. So we bought our home about 2 years ago, which is far too long. We'd have to pay anywhere from $300 to $500 to have another appraiser come out, look at our home, and then give that appraisal to the bank so they would know how much we could be available, or we could be able to get a loan for.
Yeah.
Anyway, so too much money and too much time that we were willing to spend. Okay, so the second type of loan that we looked into was an RV specific loan, which most banks and institutions offer these days, we found out, so that was pretty neat. Our options were wide. One of the pros for an RV specific loan is you can get, similar to a mortgage for your home, you can get up to a 15-year loan. so long as the loan is for $35,000 or more. And that is what we're looking at getting because the interest rates are much lower that way.
Yeah, so if you get a loan for a shorter term, you'll have a higher interest rate.
Mm-hmm.
For us, we plan to pay it off relatively soon, and regardless of how long the loan is, there's no early payoff penalty.
Yeah.
So it makes sense just to get a 100-year loan if they offer that for the lowest rate, and then just still pay it off early, and you'll pay less interest money in the end.
Yeah.
So for us, it'll be a 15-year or a 180-month loan to get that lowest. I think it was 6.2% was what that was.
Yeah, which sounds astronomical. I couldn't believe it, but it's actually one of the better interest rates for RV-specific loans.
Yeah.
And another pro for us looking at RV-specific loans, the process to be pre-approved was much faster from beginning to end. When Jesse called to when he got the email saying we had the go-ahead, it took 3 days, which is crazy compared to the potential 5-week wait time for a second mortgage.
Yeah. With the RV loan, however, there are some cons.
Yep.
And so, as I mentioned, our interest rate is 6.2%. I think most second mortgages are 5.5% or less percent, which isn't huge, but if you were to have that loan for several years, that's
It's
thousands
big
of
enough.
dollars. Yeah. The second con with the RV loan is that we don't have that bargaining power we would have if we'd have gotten a second mortgage and had cash.
Yeah.
So again, we're going to still be able to purchase an RV from a private seller or from a dealer,
Mm-hmm.
which is great. We're pre-approved, but it's one more hiccup in the road, I guess you could say,
Mm-hmm.
that won't make someone want to bargain with us as readily as if we had cash. And it's not a huge deal, but the last con I thought of is if we want to do any big upgrades or if we buy an RV that needs any upgrades. Let's say, for example, a $5,000 or $10,000 generator or solar panels, certain things that we want to do to the RV. Right now, if we do with the RV loan, those would be out of pocket.
Yeah.
At the same time, right now, we're fixing up this house to sell, so most of all of our disposable income is going into our house. We don't have the extra funds to put into the RV now. So that's just one of those things that'll have to wait until we do sell the house and have a little bit more money.
Yep.
Um,
One other con about the RV-specific loan, it is a con, but it's not. You do have a 45-day window from when you're pre-approved to when your pre-approval expires. So we're acting very ambitious. We're hoping to find and purchase an RV within that time frame, so it shouldn't be a problem. But compared to the second home mortgage, where you had a year window, that's a really big difference. So we're definitely feeling that.
So now we are RV shopping. So next steps, we're going to learn what to watch out for as a RV buyer. Essentially, what are those things that are known to go wrong?
Yeah, or big red flags that we might not see as novice RVers that maybe some of you experienced people know about. Definitely let us know in the comments if you have any tips.
We've been, casually looking at RV Trader and other sites online.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hey, this is a great RV. Oh, we don't like that.
Yep.
But now we really need to figure out what we do want and need in our RV.
We need to know our must-haves at this point. It's down to the wire. We need to figure it out.
We've been doing a good amount of homework, though. We have a list compiled. We'll share that with you next time on what we're looking for. And so we'll do some searching. Curious if anybody has any thoughts on this after this video is posted. We might even consider flying somewhere. Let's say we can fly down to Texas or somewhere and save $10,000. Hey,
We'll do a road trip.
Yeah.
So as Jesse mentioned, he really geeked out with all of the information for RV loans and home equity lines of credit. So if you would like to read all of those nitty-gritty details, he'll upload those onto our website. The link should be at the end of this video, so go ahead and check it out if you want all of the specifics when it came to us choosing between an RV-specific loan and a second home mortgage.
So yeah, thanks for watching, and please leave any of your comments, any thoughts, especially if you have any good information or advice for us or other RVers that are shopping for an RV.
Yep.
That's it, and we'll see you next week.
time.